Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly, and we're at Real Estate Jerky Daily. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Thanks for me getting here late. Sorry.
Shit happens. It's a little bit after. Yeah, normally we're before Bobby and I, but today we're after Bobby and I. That's okay. So what was the news for today? That is third quarter GDP final read and initial jobless claims, or I should say jobless claims. So the final GDP number grew at 4.9 annualized pace for the GDP. That's gross domestic product. But it was at 5.2%. So when they relooked at it, it came down. And so the market was like, yay, it's not doing as great as we thought. The quarterly, so what we're really going to be look at is the PCE read tomorrow and plus the GDP report. They put those things together and so they're going to see what's going to go for the future.
Gotcha.
However, initial jobless claims came in. And it said it rose. I read it differently. Hold on here.
Well, those look like it dropped.
Yeah, it says 205, but it's not. So initial jobless claims were supposed to be 215,000 estimate. It came in at 205,000. So it actually went down.
Yeah.
Continuing claims came in at 1.865 million versus the 1.88 million that they thought it was going to be.
So they either didn't renew or they got a job.
Right, but it's still showing that it's really hard to get a job after being laid off.
Well, because you're lazy.
No, it's just people aren't hiring right now.
Yeah.
For they're
being cautious.
The real jobs, the big ones who pay money, a lot of money, they're pushing that off till next year. I've talked to a bunch of people who got laid off, directors, that kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, I've sent out many resumes and it's always we're going in a different direction, or we've decided not to move forward on this position right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of our members, he's going to Mobile, Alabama in 3 months.
Yeah, well, he's already got a job. That's different. But he's moving. Well, he's from that
area.
Yeah. Well, gas stuff, diesel oil industry is not normally in California.
No, it's not.
I mean, there's some, but they don't really pay well, I guess, or they don't really want us here. Right, those jobs. They don't want you.
Yeah, they don't want to drill, baby.
And so right now our overall market look is, let me see where we're at right now. So the bonds, right, that we look at is down 2 basis points. Ooh, who cares, right? It's not a big deal. The 10 years at 3.8769. So we're moving down slowly on that, and it's continuing to go down. When that's 2.87, watch out, the market's going to get real crazy.
Is it going to blow up?
That's not really a great word to use.
Well,
so that's all. Really all I had for news. There wasn't a lot of news. I guess let's back up. I forgot. Realtor confidence survey came out.
What did they say? They're not very confident.
That's right. They're confident that they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
The expectations, average bids per home rose from 2.5 to 2.6. Indicating the demand. Home selling above asking price decreased from 28% to 19%. So they're not going over asking a lot.
Right.
I'm getting at where before they were probably throwing closing costs on top of it and everything else.
Exactly. Well, and I want to say, I still have to say, you see this happen every time a market starts to adjust, is there are still some properties that get overbid.
It's all about location.
Condition, location, and list price.
Right.
You start too high, people still think I got to overbid. And if it's too high, they're like, I'm not going over that. So then there has to be a reduction to be able to get maybe an overbid or for it just to go into escrow. So that's the fact, Jack. I just think that's a screw up. That's a greediness of the seller and a not firm enough on list price by the realtor.
Did you know the ability, Mary, there?
I had to.
Okay. All right. So as I said, there wasn't a lot. So actually I found an article on Housing Wire. Was talking about VA loans.
Okay.
All right. And I'm real big on VA loans. So are you, helping veterans out. And it had a whole thing about, who's eligible. And I don't get, I talked about this on the Real Estate Jerky Veterans Edition with Bobby, but I want to talk about it here.
Right.
The VA loan is the best loan for veterans, at any time. It allows you to get in where other people might not.
Exactly.
Sorry, I had a little frog in my throat. All right. So who's eligible? Active duty service members with at least 90 days of continuous service. and veterans who served on active duty were honorably discharged. That's the key right there.
Yeah, and have a DD-214.
Well, if you're honorably discharged, you will have a DD-214.
Yeah. If you're not, you won't find it in your garage.
You'll still have a DD-214 if you're dishonorably discharged, but we just can't
use it.
Minimum requirement based on dates of service qualify for the VA loan. If you're National Guard and Reserve members, there's certain criteria that you need to meet. Depending on if you get deployed 90 days or so, you get into that. But if you're just in there as a reserve, there's amount of time you have to put in and reach out to me and I can go through that for you.
Gotcha.
But there's a couple myths that there's like 4 or 5 different myths. Myth: VA loans take forever to close and rarely close on time. Is that true?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's all up to the person who's doing that loan is the problem,
right?
Not the VA.
Not
loan.
the VA.
Yeah. Myth number 2: there's a limit to the loan amount for a VA loan.
Nope.
That's right. There is no limit at all.
Yeah.
You go, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. And people are surprised to hear that.
Well, there used to be.
Even though I know there used to be, but you talk about it all the time. And people are still surprised to hear that.
Yeah, because people don't listen.
What?
Huh? It's just we have a lot of people who've been in the business a very long time and they remember the old stuff, not the way it is right now. Let's see. A VA loan can only be assessed once.
What do you mean?
They can only do it one time.
No.
Yeah, you can do it multiple times.
Yeah.
You can only have one active VA loan at a time.
No.
Yeah, you can have multiple.
Right.
It's all about your eligibility, how it's being used up.
Is there going to be a yes in here sometime?
It's about myths, so of course not. We're debunking. All right, so last one. The appraisal process for VA loans is more stringent and difficult than conventional loans.
Incorrect. I used a different word.
Yeah, that's right. The only issue is what you run into with those is if there's peeling paint, it's no matter who it is, they're going to potentially call for it, depending on the age of the house. If it's 78 or older, everybody's going to call for that's a health and safety because of potential lead paint.
Right.
If it's newer than that, that could get called for, or anybody on VA, FHA, any of those things. If there's any bare wood around the sliding glass door, they're going to call it. Just go out there before you have the appraiser come and touch up with some primer. No one cares. The same color primer if possible.
Yeah, that would be paint.
Yeah, and so really, there's not.
No, it's simply not.
And that's all I kind of want to go over.
Well, what about the other myth where you have to have a pest clearance?
Well, you do have to have a pest clearance. You just don't have to have a full pest clearance.
Right.
VA allows a short form that just says there's no active pests.
Right.
Which I use that a lot in Tuolumne County and other places where there's some work that potentially needs to be done, but they don't want to take care of it, and the seller doesn't want to take care of it. The actual buyer could take care of it now, which before they could not. Now VA people can pay for the pest work if they want to have it done, or you just do the short form and then they can take care of it after they get in the house.
Yeah, gotcha.
But I mean, if you have a deck and the boards are up on it and falling all over, and it's really the appraiser's going to call for it because that's a health and safety issue, no matter who it is.
Yeah, appraiser's going to call for it on any transaction, on any loan type thing.
Because if they step on that deck and it hits them in the head with that board,
or they fall through,
they're going to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's health and safety, and that's what it is.
Yep.
And someone asked me the other day, well, what if they put on there needs more investigation? Then it needs more investigation.
Yeah.
And section 2 items only that, any health and safety, one of those items I've seen before is the toilet is wobbly. Well, they don't want the veteran to fall off the toilet and hurt themselves. So that's anybody. You fix those little things. Come on.
And anybody can fix it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the homeowner, get in there and tighten it down.
Yeah.
Before they come. All this stuff should be done before they come. And I've had it where we're doing an FHA loan and the carpet's worn in one place, and sometimes they'll call for that. But if there's an area rug over it, they're not going to call for that.
No, they're not going to lift it up.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not their responsibility to lift it up.
No, they don't do that. They just look all over and it's something they can see. They're going to, no matter what, they're going to call it. So VA loan is one of the best loans out there.
I agree.
Okay.
I really do.
All right. So tomorrow is PCE, the personal consumption expenditures, which is the core and the Fed looks at their favorite, numbers and all that about what's going on with inflation.
One of my favorite.
But the issue will be, we won't be here.
but call us.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you what happened.
Already traveling to what I need to do that day. So it's too close to Christmas and we're taking the day off.
We could call it pursuit of combustible expenditures.
Yeah, whatever. It's not that. Nice try.
Okay.
So that's all we have. And again, we're going to be gone next week. We'll be back the following week.
Yep.
All right. So if I know you're going to miss us because we're not going to be here every day.
And we are contagious.
Yeah. And then on the radio show, we're going to have best of for each weekend because we're not doing the radio show either. We're taking those 2 weeks off. So we're just doing the best of. And again, we appreciate you. We appreciate you following us this year because we've been doing this for a while, and we appreciate you being here and telling us that you actually like what we do here.
Yeah. And when's the best time to buy?
Right now.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, before somebody else buys that house.
Yeah. Do it
if
now.
it's the house you want, and get it before somebody else does.
Yep.
Because only one person can buy a house unless they're married.
Don't be playing. Just go out and buy.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Make it a great day. Thanks for being here. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Whatever you look at, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Mike, thanks for the year so far.
Yeah. Thank you, Ed. This has been so much fun.
All right. Everybody make it a great day. And thanks for being here.